it wasn't as hard as what you thought it was.
It's very
Is that
hard.
showing work?
Do what?
Is that showing work?
I don't remember what the question was.
That was the density question, or it should be the density question.
It said on top that it said the formula was on top, so I used my calculator.
Calculate the density. You're supposed to show
How
work.
do you show work if you're using a calculator?
And then write out your equation. What's the equation for density?
The equation for density is mass over volume.
Good job. But yeah, write it out.
Can I write it out right now?
No, because you gotta do more than just
Can
that.
I just show you later?
Yep. If it keeps happening, Chris, it's gonna be a homework offense. I can't keep doing this over and over and over again. Where does this work? Temperature conversions. I want to see work for it. So you did the first one.
It was all calculator work though.
But I want to
What's
see your
missing?
equations. I want to know that you know. So
I do
that
know.
way You will know tomorrow for sure. I want to see work. Don't just write down answers. See it. So what is it, Chris?
I said how would we have gotten I'm not arguing, but I'm just saying like how would we have gotten the answer if we didn't know how to do it?
Because how do you know if your answers are right? What if your answers are wrong?
Because in this
If the
book,
answers are wrong,
Then I need to be
Look.
able to know what you did to fix it. So if you show me
It
step
had
by
to-
step what you
it had
did,
these.
it'll help you out for it. Yes, but I need you to
The
know
key
your
equations.
equations
I
because
know.
if you don't give me your equations and if your answers are wrong on the test, I'm marking the whole thing wrong because I can't get partial credit because I don't know what you did. So you need to get into the habit of showing me what you
Is
did.
it just
so
one
that
and
way I
three?
can help you. What?
Is it just 1 and 3 that need them?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. 'Cause
Alright, number one. Alright, what do you got for your answer, Chris? Chris, what do you have for your answer? Number one.
1.4.
Alright, and that's in a decimal. What does that become?
1.75.
Good job. Alright, what's your units?
Grams.
Grams per, because it's density.
Grams per. Oh, is it grams per like liter?
Nope. Ethan, what you got for units?
Wait,
units.
what?
Units.
What units did you use?
What units did I use?
Yeah, so like kilograms.
I just put density after it.
Nope, you gotta have your units for it.
Cause
Farther
I
than
didn't know
that.
what to put.
Okay, so
And
if
you?
you, what?
Ambu? No.
Alright, if you're working with 42 grams over 24.0 centimeters cubed, what should your units be then?
1.75 grams to centimeters.
Centimeters cubed. So look at your units. That'll tell you what the units are for. That's also going to be marked wrong on your test if you don't give it to me. You have to give me proper sig figs and proper units. If you look at your units for density and say, okay, if it's 42 grams divided by 24 centimeters cubed, then my units must be grams per centimeters cubed for density. It's kind of like miles per hour. If you're going 60 miles per 1 hour, you write it as 60 miles per hour. Alright, anyone have any questions about number one? Number three, temperature to the surface of the planet Venus can exceed 750 with a decimal point Kelvin even at night. What's the temperature on the Celsius and Fahrenheit scales? Run your answer to the nearest whole degree. Alright, so what have you got for your answer, Ethan?
476.85 degrees.
Degrees Celsius. Now, if you're running it into the nearest whole degree, what does that become?
477 degrees Celsius.
Good job. Now, I will tell you on the test if you're going to use sig figs or if you're going to round to nearest whole degree. Be sure to read for it. Alright, what do you got for Fahrenheit then, Chris?
890.0.
Alright, and then what does that become when you round to the nearest whole degree?
888. 889, my bad.
889?
Or no, 890.
There you go. So 890, and then what's your units? What's your units?
Fahrenheit.
Good. So just make
Fahrenheit.
sure that you give me all my work because I don't want to take off basically points for your math section on your test because you left off your degrees Celsius or you left off your equations or you did something and it felt like a really easy mistake. I've had to mark students wrong, previous student, because he kept rounding, but he would give the wrong answer. Like for this one, he would give like, for example, that. I don't know what he did. I have no clue what he did, but it's not the right answer. He got all those points off, and depending on what type of math it is in the chemistry section, they could be worth as much as 6 points. So it's one of those, Show me your work. Help me out. I can give you part, even if you give me just the formula. Okay, well, at least I can check out the formula and give you partial credit, but give me something to work with. You just give me just numbers. I have no clue what you did. I don't know what you did, and I have to take it all off because I have to be fair and consistent. So get into the habit of trying to show me as much information. For some of my students, they got the wrong answer, but because they showed me everything, it was one of those, oh, you just rounded wrong at the end. You're fine. Have a point off just for rounding wrong. So that's how come you want to be able to show me all the work and develop the habit of showing all the work all the time. Alright, let's look now at number 5 was the next one. Alright, express the following numbers in scientific notation. This one you didn't really have work for besides just rounding it and moving it. Alright, so what you got? Chris just went, so we'll do Ethan. Number 8.
I have 0.4 times 10 to the negative 6.
You had 0.4?
4.
Okay, remember it has to be a number between 1 and 10. So just move your decimal point just a little bit further. And then I missed what the times 10 to was. So times 10 to the
negative 6.
-6. It just sounds like you just put your decimal point in the wrong spot there.
I don't even know. I just put it there. I don't know why I put it there. I
Yep.
think it don't actually.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. So it's one of those. Okay, just be careful as you're going through it. All right, what do you have for part B then?
6.5536 times 10 to the 4.
Good job. So 6.5536. That's a little more room times 10 to the positive 4. I'm
That's
writing
that
slowly
third
here,
grade
you can
public
see it.
education.
What?
That's that third grade public education.
Yeah, you can move decimal points. All right, let's look at
Big brain.
Let's look at the next one. Number 6. Convert the following numbers from scientific notation to going back the opposite direction. We'll start with you, Chris.
0.0724.
Yep. So again, you move it basically 2 spots. All right, Ethan, what you got for yours?
420,000.
420,000. So how many zeros you got?
42,000.
So how many zeros you got?
4.
Yeah. Alright, let's go through it. So 4.2 times 10 to the positive 4. How many times am I going to move the decimal point then?
42,000.
Yes. So basically you move it 1 past the 2 and then you have 3 zeros. So you have the right idea, but you have to move it past this one first and then add on your zeros. Alright, you got any questions about that one? Okay, just making sure. Alright, number 8. 8 should have been real straightforward. If you don't know what's happening in number 8, you have issues. Okay, Chris, what you got for 8?
5.
Really?
Number 8?
Yeah, 8A.
Yeah, I got 5.
Okay, so
Nope.
this is one of the over it. It's fine. Alright. So why do you think there's 4? And why do you think there's 5? It's okay. It's alright. Go over it. It's alright.
There's only 3, isn't there?
Oh, okay. What?
No.
Okay, wait. Okay. So what counts? Does this count as sig fig?
Yes.
Does this one count as sig fig?
Yes.
This one count as sig
Yes.
fig? This one count as sig fig?
Yes.
This one count as sig fig?
No.
Why?
Because it's not behind a period. It's not behind a period. And it's not encased by 2 different sig figs.
Let's go.
Alright, you're really close to that. If it's 2, the right of the last non-zero digit, and there's no decimal, that you're right, it doesn't count. So this one only has 4, so it's alright. But just be careful for
If
it.
there was a decimal point at the end,
Yes, now it would be
Now there's
fine.
5.
Now there's 5. So the scientist is saying, I measured it all the way out exactly. That's how scientists tell each other how far they
So
measured
wait,
it.
C is only 4. There's only 4 sig figs in C.
Mhm.
And there's only 1 in E.
You're stealing all the questions. But
Stop.
yes, he only has
And there's
1.
7 in E.
Stop. Ethan's turn. Alright, so A has 4. Alright, B has how many, Ethan?
6.
Alright.
7.
So
There's 7.
0, 0, 0, 0,
Ah.
0.
7.
That's how many I have. Alright. Alright, so this one obviously counts. Why do these zeros count or not count?
Decimal point.
So, but they're to the left.
Okay. And
So do we ever care about things to the left of the first non-zero digit?
to 6.
So,
1.
is this one to the left of the non-zero digit? Do we care about it then? Is this one to the left of the non-zero digit? Do we care about it then? Is this one to the left of the non-zero digit?
No, it's just 1.
It is just 1. So you might think, but there's a decimal point. don't care. If it is to the left of the non-zero digit, the first one, then it doesn't matter if it's before or after the decimal point, because these are just basically placeholder zeros. They're just saying how far out this scientist went. So they're basically saying this is how small the number is. That's why these zeros don't count ever. Now if I were to stick a 1 over here, okay, now they all count. But that's the reason why these to the left. Alright, you have a question, Chris?
I have something.
I just making sure. You have a question though? Okay, do you have a question? Alright, so you did number C already, so C has how many then, Chris?
I think I did D as well. I did 4 and C.
Okay, so there's 4 in C, and you're correct. Why?
Because 5202.
And then those zeros after the 2, even though they are two to the right, why don't they count?
Because they're not behind words. They're not behind a period. Decimal.
Okay, so what if I were to do, so, just to double check, what if I were to do that? This one's behind a decimal
It
point.
doesn't count, but they're not, because they're not encased. There's only one tick there.
So, okay, so I'm worried because.
Like, I know how to do it, I just can't explain it.
Okay, so just make sure that you know, technically it's because that they are to the left. So you're right that, okay, that based on that logic that they're not encased, that yes, they won't count. I just want to make sure you're not going to encounter some weird situation where,
I'm not.
okay, just make sure, well, you don't know, because you might, because I'm going to make sure that you don't. So you don't know what you're going to see on the test or not yet. So because of that, I don't think there's anything super funky, but I just want to make sure. But if it's to the left of the non-zero digit, just know it doesn't count ever. It doesn't matter if there's a decimal point there or not. Okay, so, but these, if you have it, so this one doesn't count because it's to the left. Now, there's a decimal point, but it still doesn't matter. But you're right for number C, that there's only 4 of those because there is no decimal point at the end saying these are to the right, so these never count because they are to the right and there is no decimal point. Alright, number D, I think you partially did already, Chris, so how many is that one?
D is 1.
Why?
Because there's only one thing to the left of the secret.
But is there a decimal point?
Yes.
So, how many do those zeros count then?
No.
Why?
Yes, we do. So there's, 7.
So lots of them you gotta pay attention to make sure, okay, is there a decimal point, first off? So if you see this, okay, this one has a decimal point. It's way over here, but they're to the right, and there is a decimal point. So the scientist is saying, I counted this far out to make sure how exact I am. That's why these zeros count. So just be careful and look. See, okay, if there's zeros to the right, is there a decimal point somewhere? If there is, they count. If it's not there, they don't count. Alright, any questions about that? Alright, number or letter E. Alright, Ethan.
1.
Yep, why?
Because the rules say so.
Okay, which rule?
C.
I'm gonna make sure that
A.
C, okay, so zeros to the right of the non-zero only count if there is a,
Decimal.
and is there a decimal?
No.
No, so that's why they don't count. Just making sure that you know. Alright, letter F. We'll just go with you, Chris. 3, why?
Because there's behind the decimal is a 1, and then in front of the decimal is 2. So there's 0 and 1.
And so that one's sandwich. So you're right. That one has 3. Alright, and make sure you're not wasting your time. Alright, anyone have any questions about this before we move on?
Nope.
Alright, you go and take a piece of paper to write down terms.
You don't know.
So terms,
You don't
things, we went through a bunch of it, kind of loosely yesterday, but I want to make sure we get through all of it as much as we can today for it.
Were we in the first class last year that like copied you whenever you would say that?
I think it works. So occasionally I get it.
They are special.
Alright, check one. I'm sorry, junior high stole all the good colors.
What colors are in there?
There is yellow and green now. That's your option.
Not even a good green.
I'm sorry. Junior high legally stole all the good ones. Alright, so because it's going to be a longer one, we're going to say just the first version of 50. So whoever gets 50 first wins, and that's what we said. 50. We're going to be playing a while.
Bruh.
Alright, so thinking back over it, we gone over the math for weighted average and how many questions about weighted average math. Okay, moving on from that then. Alright, what is the units whenever you're talking about the weight of an individual atom?
We can tell what the weight of an individual atom.
Good job, and that is the?
Combinations.
Good job. Roll. Alright, what is the device that we use to measure the atomic mass? What's that device?
Spectrometer.
Okay, mass spectrometer, specifically the yes roll. Alright, so if you're looking at how scientists are writing out an element, we're just gonna do fluorine. So fluorine has 9, I don't remember off the top of my head. We're gonna say it has this. Alright, what is this number then down here?
Mass number. No. Number of protons.
Number of protons, so it's the
Atomic number.
atomic number. Alright, what is this then?
Mass number.
And that's the number of what?
What?
Yeah, the mass number is the number of what and what together.
Number of neutrons,
Okay, yeah, so nucleons, what's a nucleon then?
protons, and neutrons.
Good job. So this is protons and neutrons together, how much this particular element weighs. What do we call an element and that can vary in its weight?
What's the structure?
I.
6.
It's not ion. It's not ion. It's
So that's charge, you're right.
Yeah, it's a.
Oh, I always get this one. I know what it is. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Wait,
Is it
what?
Is it
What do
What's
you
the
call an
question?
element that varies in weight? So you can have fluorine where it has 17, or you could have fluorine where it's 18.
ion? It's like ion something.
It
something
starts with an
not-
I, but it's not ion, that's the charges.
Oh, is it what is one that varies its weight?
It varies the number of neutrons specifically, because remember you can't change up the number of protons because you're changing the element.
You know, I did. It's unfair. Is it the Is it?
Okay, a couple seconds, I gotta go. I gotta get some more terms. Okay, Ethan.
Isotope.
Isotope.
I knew it.
Isotope. Alright, so just looking at just this first one then.
7.
Alright, what is the number of neutrons for this chlorine then?
8.
Yeah, so this one, how'd you figure it out?
I subtracted 17 from
You
9
subtract-
from 17.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so you take the number of protons and neutrons together, subtract the number of protons, that'll give you the number of neutrons. Alright, so atomic number, mass number, atomic symbol. Anyone have any questions about this? Oh, what if it was to do that?
Electron. Like a number of electrons. A number of. That's what you do with that?
I don't know, I haven't
What's
asked
the
anything
number?
about it yet. It's okay. So how many electrons does this have if it has a +2 charge? +2.
6.
So how many protons?
8. 9. 9.
Okay, so it has
7.
9. You're right, because that means that, I'm not even gonna say that, but there's 9 protons, each one is a +1. So you have to have a negative something equal +2. So -7 equal +2. Alright, what do you call this type? Okay, first of all, what do you call an element with a charge?
Ion.
Ion. What do you call this particular type of ion where it has a positive charge?
Cat
Cat ion.
Ion.
Alright, what if it has a
So
negative
ion.
charge? What if I were to do
Anion.
this?
How
How
did
many
that-
electrons does it have now? If it has a negative charge.
11.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
Alright, anyone have any questions about the idea of isotopes, atomic number, mass number, ions, cations, anions, number of electrons, number of protons? Oh, okay, I have to ask this. Which one has the positive charge in an atom? The what?
Is it for a roll?
Like which part? Proton,
Yeah.
neutron, electron has a
Proton.
positive. Okay, just making sure, because you get this wrong in
I
your
was like,
test.
I said the beginning, you need to use for a roll.
I know, but I mean, this is the chapter that covers this type of stuff, so
You're
don't
miss
do
that in the test or
People don't read some of this. Okay, which part has the negative charge of the atom? Proton, neutron, or electron?
Electron.
The which one?
Electron.
Good job. And the neutron is?
8.
neutron. You said in the neutron is. Oh, you're asking it's
Yeah,
negative.
is it positive,
Or
negative, or neutral? Neutral. Alright, making sure that I have to go over all this. Alright, alright, we went over nucleons already. You already said what it is, so I'm just gonna move on from that. What determines the identity of the element? It's your turn.
No.
You just did neutral.
An element?
Neutral and neutron. What determines the identity of the element? Protons, neutrons, or electrons?
Proton.
Good job.
Four.
Easy.
3.
Read your easy questions. Alright, what do we think makes up protons and neutrons?
You gave this one. You probably played this out again. This one, didn't you?
No, actually,
Quartz.
it just happened. Quartz, roll. Okay, who came up with the planetary model of the atom? There's gonna be more models later on we're gonna talk about. Kind of like my flower up there. It makes my picture look nice.
Starts with a R.
What did I ask? Yes, his last name is an R.
Rutherford.
Rutherford. Who came up with the planetary model? Did you really? Alright, reset then. Don't forget to
Yes, I did. I got like 4 8s.
Alright, reset. First one to 50.
8, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Everybody resets, so hopefully luck will be
Are
better.
we gonna do the pirate game?
It
One
depends.
minute.
I gotta get through turns.
Alright,
I
one
wanna
question.
make sure I get through enough turns. I'm not even chapter 1 yet.
Thompson.
Thompson. JJ Thompson. Alright, alright. What makes up cathode rays? Like protons, neutrons, electrons. Electrons. What makes up canal rays?
5.
Some sort of.
Protons, neutrons, or electrons?
What did he say?
He said electrons for cathode rays. He's right.
Neutrons.
No.
Protons.
Protons.
I already said no, I'm sorry.
Protons.
Protons. Alright, what was the experiment where they discovered the charge of the electron, discovering how much it was? What was the experiment?
Say the question
You
again.
have cathode ray experiments, the canal ray
Say it
experiment.
again.
So hang on, oil drop experiments and the gold foil
Oil drop
experiment.
experiments.
Oil drop for discovering the electron's charge.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. What do you call the type of separating out whenever using the colors in the solvent to separate your compound into its component colors? It's Ethan's turn.
Let's start with
Starts with C.
Alright.
Or what?
Alright.
Nope.
Alright.
We're getting off from that now.
Chicken.
What do you call the separation technique where you're basing it off colors, where you see the different streaks on the paper?
Oh yeah.
We start with the C.
Starts with C.
Let me write this down.
Alright, I gotta go. Anyone know? Chromatography. Chromatography, page 25. Chromatography. I gotta move. Alright, what do we call the type of separation techniques of Ethan whenever you separate them based on boiling points?
Excuse me?
What do you call it whenever basically you put them in the same mixture and you cause one of them to evaporate before the other one? What do you call the separation technique?
Let's start with
Starts with D. D.
Steve.
Nope. Alright.
Starts with a T.
No,
or
D. D.
Diffusion.
D.
Nope. Distillation. Distillation. It's on page 24. Distillation. Alright. So if you have a physical change, okay, I'm gonna have to kind of explain this one. If you have a physical change, has it changed to a whole new substance?
Just say it one more
If you have
time.
a physical change, has it changed into a whole new substance?
You have a physical.
If I have a physical change, like I take my paper and I dip it in water, it is now wet. Is it changed to a whole new substance? Now, what if I were to light my paper on fire?
Yes.
Why?
Because it turns to ash.
It turns into an ash. Alright, now, you're still not done, sorry. What
Oh,
is,
come on.
let's see, there are 4 things we look for to know that a chemical change has occurred. What's one? You will be done after this.
Precipitation.
Good job, precipitation. Well, you're thinking of precipitate, so I'll take it. Precipitation just means water. So, precipitate, that's whenever it turns into a solid. What's another one? What's another one, Chris?
Color change.
Color change, what's another one?
Appearance change. Like what it changes to. Like ash. Paper to ash.
Okay, how do you know, like, it's changed into a whole new substance? What if you were to mix it together and it starts to bubble?
Boil.
Like, you mix 2 different substances together, they're not hot, and then they start to boil, or it starts to do something. What's it making? It's fizzing.
My turn.
Not yet, it's not.
Air.
You're super close, but not quite. Let's see if you, let's see Chris is closer. Alright, Chris?
It just starts emitting a gas.
Emitting a gas. What you thinking of? So it makes a gas, or if it gives off light, heat, or some other form of energy. Roll.
My rolls have been 4, 4, 3, and 2.
I'm very sorry.
Five,
Alright, who
five.
came up with the atomic theory? It's
John Dalton.
John Dalton.
Dalton McNeese.
Don't write that
I think
down.
I know the
How
right.
people are writing.
Yeah, people remember the Dalton McNeese, but just remember, if you write Dalton McNeese on the test, it's wrong. So you have to write
I
John
hate
Dalton.
John Dalton.
I got
Yeah.
another 8.
Alright, what is the law that states that the ratios of the masses of each element in a given compound are always the same? That the states that the ratio of the masses in each element in a given compound are always the same.
Wait, what?
I mean, it's the law of something.
The word
It's in the law of
It starts with D, but you might not test, I can tell you.
law of
What's the other one?
law of
Nope, alright, Ethan, you know?
Law of distant proportion. Distinct proportion.
Okay, not quite. Alright, definite composition is this
Same
one.
thing.
Definite composition. That the ratio of the masses in each element in a given compound are always the same. So the masses of water are always the same. You shouldn't have some water way more if you're talking about the individual water molecule.
Page.
It's on page 22. So the other one, the next one is also here. What states that when two elements can combine to form more than one compound, the masses of one element combine with a fixed amount of the other element in a ratio of small whole numbers.
law of multiple composition.
Not composition.
Law of multiple numbers.
Okay, let's see if you can get closer.
Law of multiple proportions.
It's multiple proportions. Alright, they're both on page 22.
6.
Alright,
Six.
what do you call a mixture or a substance that is the same all the way throughout? Chris,
Homogeneous.
good job. What if it's different?
Heterogeneous.
Good job.
I got fun.
You got some.
I got
What do you call a homogeneous part of a system that is in contact with and physically distinct from other parts of the system? Get it quickly. Starts with P.
Wait, what?
What do you call a homogeneous part of a system that is in contact with but physically distinct from other parts of the system? So like water and oil, you have pure oil and pure water. So they're both homogeneous in those sections, but they're next to each other.
Phase.
Yeah, thanks. Alright, what do you call a substance that is just mixed together but they're not chemically combined? I don't know how to describe this any better than that.
What's solid? Mixture.
Yeah, roll. I'm sorry.
Might as well just say
8.
What do you call just two atoms put together?
compound.
Oh,
No, what is start with?
okay, just two atoms. It could be the same, could be different. What do you call just two atoms just put together?
Let's start with.
No. What do you call two atoms just put together?
Molecule.
Okay, now if it's two different ones, what is it? There you go. Alright, so just make sure.
What do you say?
I got another 3.
I'm sorry.
Compound?
Alright, if it's just two atoms put together, it could be the same. It could be the same, it could be different. If it's just two of them just put together, molecule. Specifically, if it's two different ones now, we call it specifically a compound.
Ethan, what do you have?
You don't have to tell them.
44.
Alright, we went over the atomic symbols, so we're gonna skip that for right now.
Compound and
Specifically two different ones put together.
was compound and what?
Compound and molecule. They're on page 19 and 20, if you want to look at the definitions. Alright, there are 4 states of matter. Which one is the most abundant state of matter in the entire universe? Yep.
Wait, I have an honorable. I just dropped it.
Yeah,
And
roll.
I need a 6
Roll
plus to get this.
Alright, which one has the most kinetic energy? Solid, liquid, gas, or plasma?
With the most.
Kinetic energy.
What's Star Wars?
No, there's 4 states of matter. Pick one. Most kinetic energy. Solid, liquid, gas, plasma.
No, liquid.
Liquid? Nope. Plasma. So it has the most energy.
I got a 2! I'm 4, 4, 3, 2, 5, 5, 3, 4, 2.
Some days life just isn't.
Ah.
Alright, Ethan, what do you call the energy of motion?
Kinetic energy.
Kinetic energy.
I want to die.
Okay.
You won.
2.
Oh, okay.
Alright, which one has the least kinetic energy?
I need 4.
Solid.
Good job. Just making sure. Alright, that's chapter 2. Going to chapter 1.
7.
Alright, if you're going from Celsius to Kelvin, so you are finding Kelvin, what's your equation? You gotta know your equations. Okay, I'll never turn it is. I think you just went for solid, so it's your turn.
Celsius. I'm the temperature get see.
Oh, where's Glover? Oh, that's a spitter.
Where?
That's a spitter.
Don't waste time.
Plus 273.5. 0.15.
Sure?
Yes.
Yes, this is it.
Yes.
Alright, and how many questions about this equation?
3! I
Alright,
need 1
So
more.
you have a negative degree in Kelvin.
No.
Why?
Because then it would be below the freezing point of, what is it, carbon?
Freezing point?
Below the melting point of carbon?
Melting point? What is
Wait,
zero?
because you can't.
What is 0 degree Kelvin? Like, what is this?
melting point, or the boiling point, the freezing. What is it in what? Like, what are you asking?
Like, you have a special name for 0 degree, full 0 Kelvin. Okay, we'll let you roll for it, roll.
Average
You did what?
temperature or something.
What?
Average temperature.
Nope.
No, absolute
Absolute.
temperature. Absolute, what's that one?
Don't give it to
Absolute.
him. Please don't give it to him. Please.
Absolute zero.
Please don't give it to him, please. That's
Alright,
unfair.
and then what's special about absolute 0?
That's
That is right, it's the coldest possible
I
temperature.
literally got 46.
I'm sorry.
I came back.
5.
You're
Alright.
so lucky.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm sorry.
You're so lucky.
I'm sorry.
I had 26 and you had 44 and I came back.
I was making
Alright,
1,
we're
2,
gonna do
3.
hopefully one more time. Okay, if we have time and I get through everything, we'll switch games. But we just wanna make sure we get through everything first. So potentially, depending on how fast you go.
I'll roll
Alright,
eight.
coldest possible
Okay.
temperature, absolute 0. Nothing can get colder than that. Alright.
Absolute 0.
We'll start with you, Chris. Try to help you out. Alright, what is, if you're going
I
from
want you to
Fahrenheit
see
to Celsius, Fahrenheit to Celsius, so you're finding Celsius, what's your equation?
Finding Celsius.
Finding Celsius.
9/5 times Fahrenheit plus 32.
Final answer, just making sure.
No, there's parentheses.
Where?
Fahrenheit 32.
So this is your final answer to find Celsius.
No.
Okay.
5 and 9. Yes. Final
This is
answer.
really bad. Final answer?
Yes.
Wrong. Hardly, most of it's right, but there's a couple things, but there's one thing completely wrong with it.
Minus 32.
Minus 32.
I'm a little
5.
Okay,
1.
I'm sorry. What is the temperature defined Fahrenheit if you're going from Celsius? Okay, so just
9/5 Celsius. 9/5 T.
Oh, I forgot. June, 9th and 10th grade, they don't have the temperature, they just have just the C
Do we
and
have
F.
to
I
put
know I
that?
keep forgetting.
Oh, okay.
Since
Plus
you're,
32.
well, since you're more advanced, it's more technical.
Plus 32.
Parentheses? No, this is it. Just make sure this is technical, which one is which.
That's stuck. That's
What was
Okay,
what was the
remember, don't
example?
class-
What was the example we had for that? Like the C, I remember from the parentheses.
Alright, so C, parentheses. Alright, just remember the temperature for Fahrenheit, so like fat. So it's the 9/5
You
and it's
said fat?
plus. Yeah, so like if you remember Fahrenheit, fat was the larger number.
The F
So
kind
it's
of looks like
9
a
over
Well,
plus.
you're
5.
saying fat because there's parentheses. I was
No,
about-
no.
I was about to laugh.
C for the parentheses. So that's how they wrote it last year.
Oh.
So that's how they said, okay, C parentheses, so it was kind of like a C.
Fat.
This one, they said, okay, it's fat, so it's 9/5, and it's plus 32. It's the fat
I
for
thought you were
Fahrenheit.
about to make a joke, like, because it's Fahrenheit, because, like, the parentheses kind of look like love
Okay,
handles.
let's keep going. Let's keep going. Alright, so anyone have any questions about temperature conversions? Okay.
Is it my turn?
My turn, 'cause he
You
just
just
said
did the temperature scale. Alright,
Hope you
so
do.
looking, what is the equation to find density? I asked this earlier, but you still have to know it.
You don't be no.
M over V.
Good job.
V over N actually.
Okay, don't confuse it.
1.
1?
Yeah. My first one.
Alright,
I got 7.
what is the force of gravity on an object?
Kinetic energy. Is that what it started with? Gravity.
Don't tell him what to start with. It's so easy.
What is
Well, I
that?
did help you, so here's your help. It starts with a W. So the force of gravity on an object. Starts with a W.
Starts with a W?
W.
Yes, it starts with a W.
Is it like the world's gravitational pull?
Nope.
Wait.
Wait.
I
Oh. Okay. Be a president.
Hey! Said I hope.
Oh, okay.
1,
I heard something else behind it.
4,
Okay. Be careful. So wait. Alright, what is the quantity of matter in an object? So it's Chris's turn again.
Volume?
Quantity
You
of
look.
matter in an object.
Mass. What start with?
Nope, you have it. Mass. I forgot what I asked you.
I'm about to say,
I got 2!
Alright, what refers to how compact matter is in the object?
density.
That's density. What refers to how much space matter takes up?
7. 1.
Volume.
Good job.
I mean,
Alright. What is the major unit for mass?
wait, what?
Major unit for mass. Like, so is it grams, volume, grams, liters, meters? Forgot another one we have right now. Atomic mass
Grams.
units. Yes, for mass.
That's it.
What's the major unit for
7.
volume? Chris, what's the unit for volume?
Start with an L.
Yep.
Meter.
I think that's the one which you have. Junior high, not even
I
high,
got
9th, 10th
one.
grade has a lot more. Oh, what's the major unit for length? Length.
Metric.
What?
Metric.
Gimme. You got it wrong.
He said
He said
meter.
metric.
Did you say metric or
I
meter?
don't know what I
He said metric.
I'm not taking that. What is it?
Meter.
Meter.
Okay, I don't care.
Alright. What does, alright, so if you have kilo, how many do you have? Like a kilometer. Get up, roll. If you have a millimeter, how many pieces have you chopped it up into?
Like how many times do you chop a kilometer into?
No, if you have a meter, so it's a
100.
it's a millimeter. So how many times have you chopped it up?
100. 1,000.
Which one?
Wait, what?
Milli,
Okay.
1,000.
thousand. Centi is 100. All right, I don't think I have time to go over all of them, but you can make a note of those prefixes again on top of page 7. So note them again. All right. Which one refers to actually hitting the same spot over and over and over again? What do we call that? And then hitting the bullseye.
Actually.
Okay, roll.
Accurate. That's accurate.
Alright, there are two types of exact numbers. Like, how do you, like, what do we have for exact numbers?
Counted.
Counted and
Yeah.
defined. So basically, you know there's 100 centimeters in a meter by definition alone. Alright, what is the language of science?
Math. Mathematics.
Math.
English.
Alright, what do you call a tentative explanation to a natural phenomenon or a best guess over how the world works? Yep. What are the 3 major steps of the scientific method? You're talking about the big ones, not like the 6 individual ones.
Oh, thick ones.
Observe. Well, you have to do it in order. Observing.
You can.
Observing. Hypothesizing. Experiment.
You know.
Mm.
Alright, what is your hypothesis as past your experiment, other people's experiments? What do we call it?
Theory.
Yep. And then what if it's passed the test of time?
Law.
Bob.
I mean.
About to say, if you were about to say hypothesis, no. Go back. Alright, what is the branch of science that deals with the study of composition, structure, and properties of matter and the changes that you run? Real?
Yeah.
On the
Alright,
last
are we
page,
switching
so we
games?
can switch games. I'm in the last page, and we're doing that on
Nice.
Corona dice.
No shit. I had to give my
Corona
9th and
dice.
10th grade, all of them German, because they all touch the same thing.
Why? 10th graders? Wait, 9th graders?
9th and 10th grade together in
Who's
homeroom.
in 9th? Who's in 9th grade?
No.
Okay, I don't remember where I moved it.
I can't believe Noah's a high school and he's still 4'11".
Okay, he can't help that. He cannot help that. It'll come. It'll come. Alright, so.
Are we going to do the cards soon? Like that.
We did them yesterday.
I know, but we go again.
I think we have time, so I'll try to do something like this. Alright, so what is the branch of science that deals with the study of composition, structure, and properties of matter? I think you just alternate to me.
It's my turn because he won.
Yeah, I did.
Where's the what?
What is the branch of science that deals with the study of composition, structure, and properties of matter and the changes that matter undergoes? Yes, pick a number.
Want to guess the first one.
I'll be really sad if it is.
Did you
29.
change it? Remember?
I don't remember. I played this
29.
with junior high. I don't remember where I left it. I'm gonna have to swap it up.
29. Got it, let's go. I'm so good.
Alright, so there are 5 branches of chemistry. Which one deals with applying theories of physics to chemistry? To chemistry.
What's the third one?
P.
Physical chemistry.
Yep. Pick.
11.
I'm 11, so.
Alright, which one studies the chemistry of life?
Steve Dutz.
What is the question?
It's the chemistry of life.
Biochemistry.
Biochemistry.
33.
Alright, which one has to do with study of carbon?
Start with B.
A B?
Yeah, start with a. Let's start with
It starts with an O.
organic.
Organic chemistry.
That is the fattest guess.
Remember the date I put? 9. Remember the date I put? Like I guess the date. Of all
Alright,
numbers
which one
that we-
is a study basically everything besides carbon?
What's
It starts with a I.
Inorganic.
Yep.
Wow.
I'll go with 15.
That was the biggest fast guess.
Alright, which one has to do with analyzing substances to see what type of elements or compounds are present?
Don't give him a hint.
Where does it start with?
I've been telling you
Hey, one more time.
whenever you're analyzing a substance to see what
Oh.
compounds are there.
3.
Analytical chemistry.
Okay.
You handed that one to him. You
6.
might as well give him a cookie as well.
Okay, let me make sure
Wait,
I
almost.
covered everything, 'cause I think we got through it. Went through all the math, went through that, went through that, went through that. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I just wanna make sure.
Nice.
Nice.
How does he do it? Do it.
I don't know how to. Can't do development.
Nice.
Alright, so what's in the so what is a nucleon made of?
What ones are we from?
Okay, which one's the positive one?
Yeah, cool.
Which one's the neutral one? Which one's the negative one? Okay, you worked hard for that, have it.
Let me hurt the 45.
There is no 45.
45.
I cannot hear you.
25.
30 million.
35?
25.
You have to say it correct.
25.
There you go.
25.
Alright,
25.
which one is not in the nucleus of the atom then?
Fusion.
Protons, neutrons, electrons. This one's not in the center.
Electron.
Good job.
Oh.
That's a big guess.
22.
I'm gonna need you to give me your
Let's
social
see.
security. I'm going to need your social security number so I can get into your computer.
Okay, yeah, we got everything. Alright, so let's go over the elements then.
How much time we got?
About 5 minutes.
We got about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Do we have homework tonight? Or we
So
just
just
study?
studying.
Yeah. so-
Yeah, I'm gonna be studying like a weirdo.
Study your brains out. I don't got brains.
And then Alright, zinc. That's what symbol?
Brains.
Zinc, what symbol?
Zen.
Good job.
17.
I still be good.
Alright, gold, what symbol?
Wait, what?
Gold.
AU.
Alright, take.
That's what Quinn's gonna be playing.
See the
AU.
game.
I cannot hear you then.
27. I win.
Alright, chromium.
From
I don't even need
CR.
CR.
Let me go 31.
I know all of these.
You asked specifically for this. Iodine.
Because we know them all.
Okay.
18.
Alright, arsenic.
AR.
AR?
AS.
I just can't hear you. AS.
Yes.
Yes.
I hit 7.
That was
Aluminum.
8 sports. 2.
AL.
Okay.
34.
Alright, radium.
Is that RD?
RD, I can hear you.
Yes.
Nope.
Alright.
RA. Radium.
I'm dumb.
My educated guess is 20. 21, Ivan?
Going on.
Alright, magnesium.
Is that MG?
Wait.
Well, it's my turn.
Oh, it is your turn.
I was
I'm
about
sorry.
to say,
Sure.
Magnesium?
Magnesium.
Or not magnesium, magnesium.
Magnesium.
Yes.
Yes.
28. Ooh.
Alright, radon.
RN.
Or what?
RN.
Yes.
32. Where is it?
Beryllium.
Is that BE?
Is it?
BR?
Is it?
Beryllium. BE.
B is correct.
Let me go with 3.
I actually really do not remember where I put it.
So.
Hope it's in there. There was one time where I forgot to put it up there entirely. I don't remember what I did, but I deleted it by accident. It was
So wait, then they guessed all of them?
Yeah, they literally guessed all of them. They couldn't find it. It was one of those. Well, everyone gets candy because of traumatizing
Everyone got
experience.
candy?
I did because I felt bad.
How
I
many were
honestly
there?
didn't remember. What?
I mean, were there?
It was like 9 or 10 of them. It was like the entire junior high. All right. Where? So, what is the
What
symbol
was
for
this?
cobalt?
CO.
Final.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
It is.
23. It's 23.
All right. Rubidium.
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 RB.
Go.
No.
10. Dude, it's
Strontium.
getting to the point where you're clinching.
SR.
Sure?
Yes.
Yes.
It's getting to the point where you're clinching. Right?
13. I know it's 13.
Calcium.
Calcium?
Calcium.
Ca?
CA.
30.
Did you say 3?
30.
Okay.
I thought he said 3 too, but yeah.
Give me that. Okay.
Alright. Silver.
AG.
Get up.
Two. Come on, where did you put it?
I don't remember.
Krypton.
Krypton. KR.
Cripple. 16. No, 4.
Sure. Alright. 10.
10.
10.
Like,
SN.
Well, like T-I-N, like the Tin Man.
SN.
That's it.
14. I win.
Lead.
Where is it?
what's this start with?
Nope, not telling you.
Lead.
Lead.
It's easy, bro.
PPP?
No, PB.
PB is correct.
Let me go,
No.
35.
Okay.
Phosphorus.
From maybe David Hasselhoff.
PH.
Nope.
P.
P. Phosphorus is just P.
20.
No.
It's
Alright.
not up there.
Well, I don't remember where I put it. I put it for junior high, I believe, last time. I
Put it
don't remember
behind
what I
it.
did.
But you
Alright.
know it's up there somewhere.
I hope so. No, it's
Or with
I
pumpkin
deleted it by
candy.
accident. Alright, chlorine.
CI.
CI? I just couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Nope.
CL.
CL.
That's what I meant. CL. That's what I meant.
You said CI.
That looks like an I. Where do you have it up there?
I have to go
A.
through that.
8.
Fluorine.
Yeah.
That's it.
19.
Good job. Alright. We might can do a rapid fire version. So.
Chris doesn't want anything yet.
It'll be okay, Chris.
This is how it feels when I
He has 4 pieces of candy right now.
I'm sorry, Chris. Maybe
I'll
you
give you
get
2.
lucky. Maybe you get lucky.
I'll give Chris 2.
Alright.
You
Barium.
Barium?
Barium.
PR. No. Yeah, PR.
Nope.
B.
Yeah.
BA.
19.
She was over there real quick too. I'm like, he got her again.
Uranium.
You.
U.
29. No. Let me go 17.
It's 17.
Sure.
Yes. Imagine.
Alright. Helium.
8.
What was
E.
that?
8 E.
H-E.
1.
Every time she says, "Are you sure?" I think I got it.
Yeah, me too.
Argon.
Argon. Argon. A-R.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
27.
Because part of it is, I honestly can't hear you, and part of it is I just want to make sure. Potassium.
Okay.
What was that?
Okay.
J.
I put 13.
Oh, really quick. So, for sig figs,
Is this a question?
yeah, for adding and subtracting, you go up the place or go up the number?
Number. Place.
Place, addition, subtraction.
Come
go up
on.
place.
Alright, let me go 11.
Alright, we go up multiplication and division, you go up the number, sig figs or place?
Number.
Number. Yeah.
46.
Okay, remember it's false hope. Everybody does it. Oh, I forgot, I picked a different one. So yeah, no false hope then. Alright. Okay, hydrogen.
PVC.
Hydrogen. H.
Yep.
Let me go.
Oh, she picked another one, so
23.
it's a number that we know.
Which one?
23.
It's a number that we know.
There's 10 slides.
No, 36.
36?
Yes.
Alright.
We gotta find. Did you
Sulfur.
take it off completely?
AG. No.
Sulfur.
Sulfur?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Did you take it off completely? The time?
There's 10 different slides on with the treasure chest and the 10 different ones. I just forget which ones I grab whenever I grab them.
So this is the sound is somewhere like the treasure chest might not even be on the
34.
It's really on it, but it just
It gets us, I'm walking out.
It's in a different spot. Alright, study.
You get 2 of mine, Chris.
Thank
I
you.
can't promise because we covered everything, but we covered the majority of everything. So make sure you're studying on your own tonight. Study
BBC.
for sure.